Greetings, I am Reese Jericho. This is a review for Yooka-Laylee. So, I had debate with myself on how I wanted to do this review because I have a set review type of thing that I do when it comes to technology, but I didn't really have a standard when it came to gaming. So I'm experimenting with how I should do video game reviews because basically Mass Effect Andromeda threw a giant curveball at me. I'm like, I need a simple game to actually review before I review Mass Effect Andromeda, which I'm not going to do for 2 months. The reason for that is, so I'm giving it the best chance. Basically, if Electronic Arts, BioWare, well actually, the part of BioWare that is in charge of Mass Effect Andromeda, which isn't the people that actually made the original Mass Effect series, but instead a different studio, I'm giving them a chance to patch things, see if it makes the game better or not, go from there. Anyways, so first, disclaimer. Disclaimer is as follows for Yooka-Laylee. I backed this on Kickstarter. I backed it for the minimum amount to get the game. Not early access to the game, but to just get the game itself. It's made by the people some of the people that made some classic Rare games like Donkey Kong Country and Perfect Dark and Banjo-Kazooie and GoldenEye. Like, very talented group. They formed their own studio and launched this game on Kickstarter. I saw it and I said, I'm interested in this game. Let me tell you part of the reason I backed the game. Part one was it looked really interesting. It looked like a game I would enjoy playing myself. The other reason I backed it is in the hopes that the studio, Platonic, that if they do well on this game, and I hope they do well, is that they will launch that potentially they'll consider making a spiritual successor to GoldenEye or Perfect Dark of some sort. That's something I personally would be interested in seeing, a spiritual sequel to those games. One could argue Time Splitters was kind of a spiritual successor to GoldenEye and Perfect Dark in a way, but it was more humor skewed, which I didn't mind. I was fine with Time Splitters. I actually loved Time Splitters. 2, in my opinion, was the pinnacle of the series. 3 was alright, but 2 was the best one, in my opinion. Anyways, Yooka-Laylee. So, what is Yooka-Laylee about? Well, Yooka-Laylee is you're playing a lizard and a bat creature. I think. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's that's about the gist of it. The thing is that when I got into the game, I wasn't sure what to expect. It's a satire of platforms. The entire game. I didn't realize that until I started playing it, exactly what the game is. The game is a satire of platforms. Like, it's a platformer, but it's also a satire of a platformer at the same time. At least that's what it seems like at the moment. Now, I've only played the game for 2 hours, so I need to put that out there as well. The other thing I thought I would do is, well, why not actually show the game to you while I'm doing a review of it so you can see what I'm talking about. Sure, I could show you recorded footage, but I thought it'd be better for me to actually show the game and me playing the game. So first, I'm gonna make sure I have everything hunky-dory. Alright, so I have Yooka-Laylee on GOG. We're gonna launch it. I have more games than that on GOG. Those are just the ones I have installed. There's Platonic. Oh yeah, so as far as like graphical options go, like really that's oh, we're going with fantastic, because I just had to set them fast, and I thought that was as high as it went. Alright. This is a loading screen. It doesn't take too long. Now, if I remember correctly, this game is made with the Unity engine. So. Alright. Now, there are some good things about this game, like displays are only there when you need them. Ow. Now, one thing I don't like, let me show you, is the aiming. So the aiming, when you're initially aiming, is inverted, which is kind of weird. Fire! Fire! Okay, that's enough fire. Okay. So there are definitely some nods to platforming in Yooka-Laylee, like the fact that you use pages to unlock new worlds. Yeah, that's a nod to platformers. Now, one thing that is weird, that I found weird, which it isn't too bad, but okay, let's see. Rolling is a very fast way to travel. Here we go. So this is one thing I found weird. Buying your moves. I found that really weird. But as far as things go for this game, I mean, just visually looking at this game, it looks very, very impressive. If this is made with Unity, I'm fairly certain it is. But yeah, basically you're going around collecting pages to unlock more worlds to eventually go and fight the boss. Let's see. Not sure how to beat that guy yet. Oh. Ah. But yeah, one thing I do like about the game is you notice that the stat stuff disappears when you don't need it. Like right now, I don't need it. But as soon as I start using an ability, it's there until I don't need it. Fairly straightforward. The voices can get a little annoying at times, but at the same time, you don't interact with the other characters too much, so it's not that bad, in my opinion. But yeah, it's a platformer that's kind of a satire of other games. Anyway. Now, one thing I will show you, you notice I'm playing with controllers because, well... Yeah, one thing I wish they had is that they had a quit right under options and stuff. But at least you can get to a quit somewhere. So anyways, that's Yooka-Laylee in a nutshell, pretty much right there and there. So as far as going with what do I actually think about it? Do I like it? Do I hate it? Do I love it? Do I think it's just okay? So I've decided when it comes to video games, I'm going to use a different review scale of sorts as far as Final Judgment goes. I'm going to go with it's bad, meaning it's broken. You shouldn't buy it. You shouldn't even touch it. You shouldn't even look at it. Or it's boring or something like that. Basically, bad means I really don't like it. Why in the world did I waste my time with this game? Meh means I don't hate it. I don't like it. It's just alright. Or okay. Like just means I like the game. Good means I think it's overall a good game. Well balanced, well played, controls are good enough. Great means I think this is a pinnacle of its series. So this game I would go with, based off of what I've played so far, I would go with good. And the reason for that is even with my minor complaints about it, it gets a lot of things right when it comes to platforming. One, it's not too hard of a game to play. Two, is that there is a slight learning curve, but that's the case when it comes to platforming. Now, if anyone is complaining about jumping in a platforming, it's a platform. You're expected to jump. It's normal. it's a platformer platformer going from one platform to another. Come on, people. I've seen I haven't even looked at anyone else's review on this game. I don't know what other people thought about this game, because I'm like, I already bought this game way back when on Kickstarter. So, I mean, I'm already committed to it. I do like the nods that it has to the classic platforms. I do like the nods to other things that it has within the game, which I kind of found funny. I like that it's meta some of the times. Now, like I said, the only thing that is a little grating is the voices. The voices can be a little grating, but it's not too bad because you're not interacting with those characters too often. So I don't think it's a bad thing overall. Would I recommend this game to someone? The answer to that is, if you like platformers and you're looking for a fun, simple game that has character, looks good, plays really well, it's a very simplistic game. I do recommend, if you get it for PC, you probably should use a controller for it, because platformers are kind of meant to be played like that, and this looks like it was designed with a controller in mind. Now, I haven't played it with keyboard and mouse. That's partly because of the tradition I have with platformers of always playing with a controller. So, anyways, that's overall what I thought of the game. You can read my review, where I go into a couple things, a little more details. Not much more. It's pretty much going to be the same as this. I'll talk about the controls. I'll talk about pretty much the same stuff. And then that'll be it. So what will be the next video after this, as far as reviews go? Well, my next video actually isn't going to be a review. Instead, it's going to be a common questions for me. Questions that people might have about me, specifically. So I'm going to make that video for next week. I'm going to ask a couple people to ask me questions, basically. If you have any questions that you have always wondered concerning about me as it relates to reviewing video games, legal investigations, whatnot, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I may answer them in the next video. I'm only going to pick 10 questions. If no one asks, I'll come up with the questions myself of what I think people may be curious about when it comes to me. So we'll see how that video goes. So I'll see you all then.